So
one of the things that I remember at UMG Cali when I first met your parents was that your mom didn't shake hands.
Oh no,
she
still doesn't.
She was like me, because I went like this and she went like that, and I'm like, oh, I don't shake hands either. She's like, you know, like I'm like, ew, fuck that, me either, right? Because we are big germaphobes here. You just recently came to Minneapolis with us, and was Minneapolis the first time that the coronavirus was being?
I think so,
because it had to have been, right? Because I was very sick. I'll tell you what. If I was as sick as I was in Minneapolis today, I would 1,000% think that I have the coronavirus, because I was like just dead.
Yeah,
I was dead. We were supposed to do a podcast with Gary V. Our schedules didn't line up. Were lined up until the day that they weren't lined up, because I became sick and he had to push. And I was like, there's no chance I meet this dude. There's no, not meet him, but there's no chance I meet these guys to do this. Because there was no chance that I was going to be patient zero, right? I take a bunch of pictures at events. I'm always bumping, fists with somebody. There's every so often there's the guy that just does this. Every so often there's the guy that gets mad at me for not shaking his hand. I literally, I mean, no offense at all, but I'm not shaking no one's hand. You know what I mean? Unless I choose to, obviously, to... cut a deal with you. But in Atlanta, and if you're watching this dude in Atlanta who I don't know, never met, Maddie and I were walking behind. He's like, Hex, man, nice to meet you. I'm like, nice to meet you, man. He's like, no, shake my hand. And I'm like, I go, no, it's just fist bump, dude. He's like, what? You're not gonna shake my hand? I'm like, nah. And I just walked away. I felt bad as I was like walking away, and I look at him. I'm like, "Was that bad?" It's like, it wasn't. I just fucking. If he knows me, he knows that I don't shake hands, right? Every so often, I will shake someone's hand, but only when I know that I have sanitizer my thing. You are very like me, I think, when it comes to taking precautions. I'm probably not as good as you are at taking precautions, because you came super prepared. You had a box of latex gloves. You had 2 boxes of face masks.
Respirators.
Sorry, I'm going to apologize. You had respirators. You had sanitizer, and you had a whole bunch of pills, right? Like it was like nighttime, daytime. And you were like, yo, wear this. And we're like, nah, it's not that serious. But now
I'm like the guy that's like sitting there, like I'm like here with my glass of orange juice, and I'm like that dog from that Burning, like, this is fine, but like, come on guys, like, don't blue pill, like, I'm telling you, this is gonna get bad. And now we're here.
Now we're here. Just to give you a small taste of this. It was, I don't know, like 2:30 a.m. one day, and we get a video from Jordan that it's like, yo, this is what's happening in China right now. And I'm like, I don't know why I was awake, but I look at it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking terrifying. And sure enough, that weekend we had to travel to London.
Yes.
And anytime you have to leave the States, you sort of feel exposed to something that you don't want to be, because the safety that the United States provides, as expensive as it is and as stupid as some things may be,
proud American.
Yeah, same. It's still where you want to be if you're ever sick. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I'm confident. I was doing a lot of research on the coronavirus just recently, right? And I heard that kids, believe it or not, are less susceptible to contract the coronavirus than 30 to 79-year-olds, which I was like, that's fucking cool, right? And the reason is because kids ordinarily walk around with some sort of flu, several different coronaviruses within them. Yeah, I mean, they're all coronaviruses, right? COVID-19, because there's a coronavirus of 2019, or whatever. Look, I've done my research on this. I'm practically a goddamn doctor, scientist of medicine, and disease controls shit. Anyway, so you were warning us like the whole time, and we're like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Now we're looking, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah. now like the 3,000th patient died yesterday or something.
It's probably worse than that. They're not reporting it. Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows what it is? Which is the scary part, right? The scary part is that that people are still showing up to work even when they're sick, out of fear of losing their jobs, which sucks. But at the same time, if you lose your job, you don't have insurance. If you don't have insurance, you can't pay for your medical bills. You die, right? Twitter is the first company that, it was just announced that Twitter is the first company that has told their employees to work from home. in a precautionary measure to lessen the spread of the virus. Now, the only reason I'm bringing up the virus is because I wanted to sort of put a timestamp on this podcast, so when scholars in the future who are studying esports and the people who made it goddamn happen, they could be like, oh shit, the coronavirus that killed half the population on Earth was going on during this fucking podcast. It's fucking wild.
Yep.